The courtroom felt unbearably tense as Emily Hale sat quietly at her table, one hand resting over her pregnant belly. 7 months along, she could feel every tremor of stress inside her chest. Her world had already been shattered by betrayal, but now she feared something much worse. The doors opened with a heavy thud, and all heads turned. Adam Hale, her husband, strode inside with polished confidence. His expression was blank, almost bored, as though the divorce hearing of his pregnant wife meant nothing. He didn't spare Emily a single glance. Walking beside him was Serena, the mistress. Tall, striking, and dripping arrogance. Her icy smile widened when she spotted Emily, and her heels clicked across the floor like deliberate taunts. Emily lowered her gaze, hoping to avoid confrontation. But Serena had other plans. As she passed by, Serena leaned down, whispering with venomous sweetness, "Don't worry, darling. Adam won't need you or your little problem much longer." Emily's breath hitched, but before she could recoil, Serena's foot swung forward sharply. A quick, aimed kick against Emily's ankle. The pain shot through her leg, forcing her to stumble. She reached for the table, clutching her belly with her other hand, afraid, terrified, for her baby. The bailiff reacted immediately. "Ma'am, are you hurt?" Serena scoffed, tossing her hair. "Please." She tripped. Some women love attention, especially when they can't get it from their husbands. Adam didn't turn, didn't react, didn't care. He simply walked ahead, adjusting his cufflinks as though nothing had happened. Emily's throat tightened with humiliation. She sank slowly into her chair, willing her heartbeat to slow down. She pressed a trembling hand against her stomach, silently begging her baby to be safe. The ache from Serena's kick pulsed through her leg, but the ache in her heart was far heavier. Across the room, Adam's expensive lawyer entered with a smug smile. He sent Emily a dismissive glance, almost amused by her pain. His briefcase landed on the defense table with a confident thud, a clear message that Emily's suffering meant nothing in the face of their legal power. She tried to breathe, to steady herself, her eyes drifting toward the judge's bench. Empty. For now, Emily didn't know who would walk through the judge's door in the next minute. She didn't know the courtroom was about to shift. And she definitely didn't know that the man who would enter, the judge, wasn't just any authority figure. He was the one person in the world who would burn everything to the ground to protect her. The heavy wooden door behind the judge's bench swung open, and instantly the room rose to its feet. Judge Rowan Cole stepped inside with measured, authoritative steps. His presence alone had the power to silence anyone, lawyers, witnesses, even millionaires. He was known for being fair, unshakable, and impossible to intimidate. But the moment his eyes landed on Emily, something flickered in his expression. It was so quick, so subtle, that no one noticed. No one except Emily, who lifted her gaze for only a second before looking away again, her face pale. Rowan's chest tightened, seeing his daughter, visibly stressed, clutching her stomach, eyes red from holding back tears, nearly shattered his judicial composure. He had promised her he would maintain their secret connection in court, but nothing could have prepared him for this. He sat down, adjusting his glasses. "You may be seated." As the room settled, Serena leaned toward Adam and whispered something snide, laughing softly. They didn't notice the judge watching. They didn't notice how his jaw clenched when he saw Serena's smirk. He had seen that smirk before, on bullies, manipulators, people who thrived on crushing the vulnerable. Rowan cleared his throat. "Mrs. Hale, do you need medical attention?" Emily shook her head quickly. "No, Your Honor. I'm all right." But she wasn't. Her hands trembled. She kept rubbing her belly in small, anxious circles. Rowan recognized the gesture. Emily had done the same when she was nervous as a child. Before he could speak again, Adam's attorney stood with unnecessary flair. "Your Honor, my client is prepared to move forward. We'll be pursuing immediate control of all marital assets, considering Mrs. Hale's emotional instability." Rowan stared at him, unblinking. "Sit down." The lawyer froze mid-sentence, stunned into obedience. Slowly, he lowered himself back into his chair. Serena snorted. "What, we're stopping court every time she sniffles?" "Honestly, Your Honor." Rowan turned his gaze toward her. Cold, sharp, final. Her words died instantly. Emily swallowed, unable to understand why Judge Cole seemed so protective, but also too afraid to question it. She kept her eyes down, feeling her child move, reminding her to breathe. Rowan tapped his pen lightly against the bench, a habit he only had when furious but hiding it. He took a deep breath. "Yes, He thought silently, staring at Adam and Serena, I can remain unbiased about the marriage. But I will not remain silent about the cruelty. This wasn't just another case to him. This was his daughter, and he was about to make sure no one walked out of this courtroom the same. The courtroom lights seemed harsher when the security footage played across the screen. Every lawyer leaned forward, every spectator fell silent. There, in crisp clarity, Serena's leg shot out and struck Emily's ankle, deliberately, viciously, while Emily clutched her pregnant belly and stumbled. A collective gasp swept through the room. Serena's face drained. That angle is misleading. Rowan raised a hand, silencing her instantly. His voice was low, controlled, but filled with steel. Ms. Vale, this is a clear assault on a pregnant woman. In my courtroom. Adam shifted uncomfortably, eyes flicking between the screen and Serena. Serena, what were you thinking? He whispered harshly. I didn't hurt her. She tripped. Serena snapped, but even she didn't sound convinced. Rowan leaned forward. Bailiff. The uniformed officer stepped up immediately. Place Ms. Vale under arrest for assault and endangerment. Serena erupted. What? No. Adam, do something. Tell him I didn't, Adam. But Adam merely stared at her, speechless, as the bailiff gripped her wrists and snapped on the cuffs. Her screams echoed as she was dragged toward the doors, her desperation clawing at the air. I'm not going to jail because of her. Serena shrieked, pointing at Emily. She ruined everything. The heavy doors slammed shut behind her. Silence. Emily sat frozen, one hand covering